Hello.
Hello, good
Can
morning.
you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Christophe Ginisti. I'm Deputy Managing Director of Edelman for Europe, Middle East and Africa. And I'm particularly working on technology and digital. I'm a European technology evangelist for Edelman Europe, in Europe.
Okay. Can you please do the definition of public relations?
Well, public relations is just about building a relationship of trust between an organization, between the personality and the audience. And it's about creating and making this relationship of trust live and significant and consistent. It's all about building a relationship.
Communication or public relations, which one do you prefer?
Well, it's just like if you want to compare communication, publicity, advertising, and public relations, it's just the same as comparing the right part of your brain and the left part of your brain. One is about creativity, conceptuality, about concept, about imagination. The other one is about content, is about rationality, is about rational. And in fact, public relations is all about rational, it's all about information, it's all about content. It's not about imagination, it's not about creativity. It could be about creativity, but it's all about, creating content and making the content live. So I prefer to use public relations because I believe that it's more useful for companies and for organizations.
How must be relations between a journalist and public relations?
It's a relationship of trust. I believe that the key word between a public relation agent and a journalist is trust. Because as well, the public relation agents need to trust the journalist and the journalist need to trust a public relation agent. It's really important. And the trust is coming when the content is consistent, when something real and something important is when the relationship relies on something that is really valuable. And in fact, the trust is the number one word that you would need to use between public relation agent and journalist.
And journalists are started to play in advertising campaign. Is this correct? Is this right?
Well, when journalists are playing in advertising campaigns, people are looking at it at advertising, not as journalists anymore. So in fact, when a journalist comes to do advertising campaigns, in a way, he loses his credibility as a journalist because he becomes an advertiser. In fact, I would say that I would prefer the journalist to stay journalist and to stay away from the brands, away from the organization, away from advertising, because it's not their job. Their job is to select and create and give information to the people.
In your country, is everybody knows public relations?
In my country?
Everybody knows public relations.
Well, I guess yes. But public relation is something that is moving so fast, so quickly, especially because of the digital revolution, that it is changing every day. So people that know public relation today or yesterday need to know again, need to learn again, because it's changing every day.
And what is the importance of public relations for a company?
It's important to understand what the digital revolution brings or changes into public relations, because it changes everything. It changes the media, it changes the way people interact, it is changing the conversations, it is changing the way people are talking together, expressing themselves, asking for services, for content, for information. It changes everything. So as it is changing everything, the most important for public relations is to learn, and to learn again, and not to be confident about what they already know, but to act just like they were beginners, because it is changing every single day.
So where will you see public relations in the future? How can we manage it?
I believe that because of the digital revolution, public relations will be the number one technique in communication, number one technique, the most critical technique, and as well as the most strategic one, because everything will start with public relations, conversation, reputation, information. Everything will start with public relations, and thanks to the digital revolution, it will be broader and broader, and it will be more important every day. So I guess that public relations, I would say that, especially for students, if they want to work in the communication area, I would tell them, go to the public relations, because public relations will be the number one technique of the future.
And what about the reputation management?
It's included into public relations. It's a part of, we've been doing reputation management for years. Even before the internet was existing, we were managing, we are the professionals who are dealing with reputation. It's been the case for years, for decades. We have always worked on reputation. That's the reason why today, with the digital revolution, it's more and more important to work on the reputation. But what we have to learn is how to manage reputation online, which is changing a lot of things.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.